Okay, everyone, thank you very much for voting in that poll there. Let me turn down my craft work, and I'll go ahead and share that with you now. I'm going to go ahead and close that, and then share the poll. So the question was, are you currently using automated tasks for and/or scripting in your services? Yes, we had 48%, 46% said no, 6% said questioning, I can use automated tasks and scripting. So that's a good thing. What do you think about that, Paul?
Yeah, no, that's very interesting, Scott. I mean, certainly 50% of people there not making use of something that can perhaps help them.
Okay, excellent. Well, I am your host, Scott Colonico. I'm a web content manager here with GFI Software. I run the MSP Business Management website. What we're going to do now is we'll have the poll, we'll have the just a couple of housekeeping tasks. You have a chat window open there. You can, or a question window there. You can ask questions during the course of the webinar. We've got a full house today, so if we don't get to your question at the end during the Q&A, I'll bundle all these up and send them to Paul, and he'll be able to go through the questions and get to them if we don't get to them on the air here. The other thing is we are recording the webinar, and we'll have that available along with the presentation slides. That'll be up in about a week. You'll get a message, I believe it's a week, exactly a week. You'll get a message from the GoToMeeting software with the link where you can watch the video and download the slides and hear the MP3. Okay, and without further ado, I guess we'll go ahead and introduce Mr. Paul Fenwick. He's our sales engineer over there with GFI Max in Scotland. Do you want to say hi, Paul?
Yeah, hi there, Scott. Hi, everyone.
Okay, well, Paul, I guess are you ready? Are you ready for this full house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll turn the craft work is off, and I'm turning the reins over to you.
Okay. Thanks very much, then, Scott.
Oh, sorry. I've got to make you the presenter. Sorry about that. We were going to have Mr. Todd Haugland here today, but he's sick. He was out in California doing yeah, he was attending a university. He came back a little sick, so.
Yeah, that's unfortunately. But so yeah. The show will go on, as they say. So let's. So hi everyone. My name is Paul Fenwick. I'm the sales engineer in UK. So what I thought we're planning to go through today is proactive maintenance and how you can use some of the automated tasks and scripting that we've got within the system here.
Okay, sorry, got it, Paul. Yeah.
Yep, you got it?
Yeah.
So you should be seeing my screen. And what you should now see is the proactive maintenance. So what we're going to discuss is we're going to run through why you would use the automated tasks, some of the default ones that we offer that we've tested within the system, how to add them, how to configure them for the ways you want it, how to add scripts so that you can put your own stuff into the dashboard and run them, how to run it as checks, some reports and some useful resources and further information for you. So let's go through automated tasks. Well, why would you really want automated tasks? Well, because prevention is better than cure. I mean, with the amount of workstations and customer devices you've got out there, if you can make sure that these devices are kept, defragmented, cleared of all temp files and so forth, and then you'll maintain an optimum performance on these workstations. So that's kind of really one of the key ones. We do have a number of other sort of scripts and stuff that allow you to run things, to perhaps operate on a scheduled basis that you can update yourself. I mean, you can set these on a very granular basis right down to individual workstations, or you can treat them all as entire sites. Particularly if you're dealing with a large number of workstations, you would want to do it in such a way. As maintenance tasks, I mean, you can run them on an automated task as schedules, or what you can do is, set specific times for them, whether it be monthly, daily, or you can actually get these based on events, which we'll cover in here, which is really very useful. And this can sort of reduce your workload. If you can get these things automated so that the alerts rather are raised, the help desk tickets generated, But the task's done and it's closed off without your without you having to physically do anything, then that's going to free you up some time to deal with some projects or other work tasks. And we can obviously report on what's been carried out by these automated tasks. So let's run through some of the ones that we've got available to you in the system. We've got some antivirus ones that we've put in there through, this is just that we've collected along through time. We've got the Malwarebytes one, which allows you to sort of update and run. Must stress though, this is on the fully licensed version of Malwarebytes, not the freeware version that's available just to download. We've got the Sophos definition update, so that's using the Sophos engine itself, the command to force the virus definition file update. We've got the application control. Now we've got the Active Directory users query, particularly useful so that you can keep an eye on the amount of users, so you can look at licensing and so forth for Active Directories on the network. And if I just flick over to the dashboard, I can show you where you can actually set this. So hopefully you can now see my dashboard. And within there now, you can, underneath a particular site, so if we go to a site, you set the Active Directory. So you would set the domain controller and the fields that you wish that to be. So we choose a different site, for example. Edit site, Active Directory, and then we'll edit the fields that we want to produce across and load up into and display. That will automatically create an automated task for you, such as the Active Directory users query there. So let's go back to the presentation. So some of the other ones we've got there, we can have a look at the running processes, so we can get things to automatically kill or fail processes as necessary. You can run SQL queries using ODBC. Cleanup, I mean, one of the most popular ones I think is the clean temp files, used to tidy up all the sort of common cached area temp file log files. You can clear event logs and so forth, and run defragmentation just to keep all the systems optimized.
Paul, those are
yeah.
those are built in, aren't those?
These are the built-in ones, Scott. Yeah, these are all being tested by the development guys in here in-house. So these are good to go.
Okay.
Some of the other ones, so we're getting through these, we've got Exchange, so you can check on the store control. So you can see if the database information store is mounted, dismounted, and so forth. It is worth pointing out that with these, there is a couple of sort of prerequisites. So you need, such as I put in there, the 2007 and later, that you need the PowerShell snapping, which is what we use the scripting to do. So that needs to be already pre-configured and installed on the server and available for us to do the get mailbox database, mount database type commands. And the same requires for the PowerShell admin one for on any mailboxes that you wish to know on that are above a set threshold and limit. And you need to change the sort of policy and so forth on that. But there's further information on in the help, and also that these slides will be going out, as Scott mentioned earlier, within the week to you, so that you can go through that. We also offer virtualization, so you can control via script the power and state of a virtual machine on a VMware ESXi server. So you can turn it off, reset it, reboot, put it into standby, etc. And with actual devices within the Windows, we can do a reboot or control the services and shut them off or restart as necessary. So, how do we add these automated tasks? Well, one thing you can do is, depending on whether you're looking to deal with these automated tasks really on a one-by-one basis, or whether you wish to deal with them site-wide. So if I flick over to the dashboard so that we can run through this and see this a bit easier. Within we've got a site here. So here's a typical site or customer that I've got. It's got a couple of some workstations in there. In fact, you get one that's got a couple. So we've got a couple of workstations on this customer site. We can either decide for these to be managed as a site, so which would make sure that all the automated tasks are done and treated as a complete unit. That's done by adding the automated tasks up here. So that's selecting the site and then going to the automated tasks up here. You then use the site automated tasks to add the task up there. So if we choose one, such as the favorite one that we'll use for clearing the temp files, so we'll choose all of that, and we'll get it to run at, let's pick a time, 2 AM, and click Next. Now what you'll see is that's now going to apply and it's about to be synchronized across all those workstations because they've all been designated as site managed, which is viewable from down there. If you didn't wish a particular workstation to not be site managed because you don't want those tasks to run on it, then you can just remove them from being site managed. You get a warning dialog box, and then that way you can then take with this one and treat it accordingly and add automated tasks within there, and that will just work as servers do on a one-by-one basis. So that's the site automated tasks. Servers you do individually if you're looking to add automated tasks. You go to the bottom option, automate task, and add an automated task. Now with servers it's just because they're doing different roles, whether it be a database, domain controller, exchange, they would generally run different automated tasks, so whether it be the clean temp file or my mail stores, and that's where you would add the automated task within there. So let's jump back to the presentation. Let's check we're all going through that. So there's where we go. So we add the automated tasks there for site. We can also see is there whether you wish them to be treated as a unit for all the workstations to help save time and treating them exactly the same, and how to add for individual servers and workstations. So configuring the automated task. I mean, it depends really what you're looking the automated task to do. I mean, it depends. I mean, there's a number of options such as we've got there. It can be dependent on the drive. It can be dependent if you're using a different script, if you've got any parameters that you wish to pass along with the script. These are done differently. So let's go back through these. I mean, with the automated tasks, you can run them at a specific time, as I mentioned. Whether that be once a day, once a month, have multiple schedules, or you can in fact have these running based on an event, such as when an monitoring check fails, such as we've got here. When the antivirus check fails, we can run that in a cleanup. So let's go back and run through that. So adding an automated task for this particular server, we add it once again there, and we can choose the clean temp files option, and the criteria we choose on that is just to clean up all the areas. But there's the frequency method, so we can get it to run at a particular time of day, whether that be 1 AM on every work day or at weekends only, whatever happens to be the case. We can get it to run on particular times per month, specific days and times, or the bottom option, which is worth bearing in mind, is the event. So this is where, on this occasion, we're going to run an automated task to clear the temp files junk off the PC, that we link that to the drive space check. So if we link that to there, and then set the maximum permitted time that we want that automated task to run within, so which by default I've got here is an hour, and click finish. This will then do, providing we've got on the disk a monitoring check for disk space, such as here, when that falls below the threshold, the alert will be raised as default, and this will kickstart the automated task to run through, clear up all the temp files area. Hopefully this will resolve the issue. What you can do, if you need to check that this has indeed passed, when the drive space check runs again, you can set the recovery alert in emails. So these are here, recovery email alert. So that would then notify us that the automated task has done its job properly and fed back into the system. So that's running through most of the options on there. Let's get back to the slide. So they're such as we said, based on an event, and some of the options that you can do. Say, unfortunately, this run set of tasks with that isn't for an event driven. The one thing on the automated tasks, I'm not going to go into the regional pricing and so forth, but when you're adding the tasks, is that you can't, they're billed for every 5 specific tasks, so you can add up to 5 for the one cost. I mean, this is still under the cap pricing and so forth as well. So to allow scripts, only super users can upload scripts to the dashboard. So if you don't want to make sure, or you want to keep control and make sure that all your engineers aren't just adding and removing these and causing untold problems, then make sure they're set with below super user access. We allow you, when you're adding the scripts in these various formats of Java, Perl, Python, BROS batch files for Windows, and as you can see for Linux as well. A couple of things to bear in mind when you're running the scripts is that they will use by default the agent login. So that is local user. So in certain circumstances that may not have sufficient rights for the script and result that you're looking to get. So it is worth bearing that in mind. And we put there, to display a text for a failing custom automated tasks, if you use the return code greater than 2000, because we've got 1 to 1999 or reserve. So what we're really saying there is that if you're needing to set you need to set the error code higher than 2000. So for example, in a DOS batch file, you would put the command exit 2001 at the end, or for Visual Basic, wscript.quit, and then brackets 2001. So that would then let it know that that's needing to fail.
Hey, Paul?
Yep.
Just had while you, I'm sure we had lots of people coming in on this thing about the scripts. So this is basically, bottom line is those are the scripts that you can, those are the languages that you can write a script in and use them for an automated task, the ones that are on that screen there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can add these in.
Okay, and then Skylar, Skylar's one of our regulars. He had a question here. He was saying, so the scripts are stored remotely and they're not locally, or they're how exactly does that work?
Yeah, well, we'll come to that. Let's go for that now. So there we go. So under the settings, we go to manage user scripts. So when you're looking to add these scripts in, I've got a number of ones that I've put into there. So if we do a new script that we've got in place, we give it a suitable description, so it may be clearing out some files from a folder that could be due to a third party on there. We give details on the usage. We then choose the operating system, so that's where we've got the Linux, whether it works on Linux and Windows, and the automated task, and then you browse. That will then upload the script to our server. The next time that the agent checks in, it'll hand over its check results, and it'll be told to download the script. It'll place that into the scripts folder within the agent itself, and then run that based on the automated tasks and schedules that you've set. So that's really where you upload and get your own on there. You can't, from the agent, do script checks. There's a number of the monitoring checks that you can do when you have the agent that you can test and run and create on the agent itself. With scripts, you have to create them because they must be uploaded into the dashboard servers and then go down to the device. So hopefully that's helped a bit, Scott.
Yeah, I think Skylar just said sweet. So I think you answered the question there.
I think that means yeah. So that's good. So,
just if I could, not to you, Paul, but we're getting kind of a lot of. I mean, thanks very much, everyone, for showing up here. We are getting a lot of kind of really specific, like, will this script work? Somebody just typed out a script and said, will this work into the window? So, I mean, thank you very much for coming and your help. And we will get to your questions, but that's kind of that's a really specific question there that we'll have to address at some other point. So I guess. Just kind of more how things work, that Paul can answer while we're on the phone here would be the most helpful things. Okay, sorry, Paul, go ahead. Paul? Okay, Paul, it looks like we've lost Paul. I can see the screen. I think maybe the Taybridge monster might have gotten Paul. He'll just be dialing back in right away. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming here and showing up. We do have a full house, and as I said, keep asking those questions. If we don't get to them, I'm going to bundle all these up and ship these over to Paul, and he'll get a copy of them, and he'll be able to look through them as well. I'll also send a copy to Todd, the sales engineer over here in the States. So no matter whether you're in the UK or the US, somebody will get a copy of your question and be able to answer it for you. If we can go ahead and while we're waiting for Paul to dial back in here, go ahead. I can see the questions scrolling up. It's like I'm in Vegas right now. That's great. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll just bring your attention to a couple other things that are going on right now. Next month we've got our Linux and Mac agent tech webinar. That's going to be on Tuesday, May the 14th, 2013 at 4 p.m. in the UK, 11 a.m. in the United States. I'm going to put that link here. Oh, you back?
Yeah. Somebody must be running some automated tasks on our telephone system.
I was thinking maybe Nessie got you or something. Okay, take it away, Paul.
Yeah.
I was going to send around the thing about the May webinar, but you go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So just talking through what Skylar was looking for, how we upload these scripts. I mean, you can upload them here, as we've got there, and what you want that. As mentioned, we've got timeouts and so forth on there. I should have mentioned that before. When you're adding the task, the one thing to be careful of is when you're setting the timeout. This has got a default timeout. That's got an hour. But if you're looking to upload this script, when you're setting it within the automated task, it asks you, so let's go to an automated task and check what that should be. And it's making sure that it isn't going to interfere with the 24/7 schedule. So that's where we're coming on to, as we're adding these scripts for checks as well. So if we add a check, for instance, script check, and there's a timeout on it, that you make sure that that timeout isn't going. That's why we've put in there 150 seconds, so that you don't interfere with the 5-minute that it could be monitoring cycle. So let's go back in there. So yes, one of the other things we can do is we can use the scripts that you've uploaded as we ran through. You can use these for checks as well as automated tasks. So these can be the checks that are run either on the 24/7 basis, so that's on the scheduling, whether it be 5 or 15 minutes for a server or 30 minutes and 1 hour for workstations. You select the check that you're looking to do from your user-defined checks, whether that be such as I've got there, and that's the check. So that will then just run and just making sure that you get the timeouts and so forth accordingly. So that's sort of really all there is to the scripts, and it's just making sure you either wish to run it once a day or throughout the day, depending on those. So there's the script check that we're going through, where you can choose your script and make sure you get your timeout. Reporting, we've got reporting, so you can see, I mean, the script checks will allow you to, they'll have the email alerts and normal notifications through the system. So you'll see those. But so that you can check that the automated tasks have been running, is there is an automated task report available from the reports menu that you can view between a certain time period by device or by task how these have been going, so that you can get a full view of things. So as for sort of getting these other scripts that people are sort of looking for, unfortunately I'm not probably one of the best people to speak to. I've got some scripting, but I've not got a huge scripting knowledge. So there are some other useful resources when we are looking to sort of get up and running with the scripts. You can use the, as I've out, the dashboard help. If you look under the proactive maintenance, that will give you some pointers, such as I've tried to mention about timeouts and things like that, and permissions and so forth, so that you can perhaps see why your script is or isn't working. We've got the GFI forums, so you can post up on there, our technical forums, so you know the development guys go in there and will assist and so forth in that. So we've got that available just at forums.gfi.com. We've got a new community starting up. It's in just in beta, but it's available at the moment. So this is now a community that GFI have put together, where people will be able to sort of post general problems and things like that, including sort of scripts. Well, with the idea that members that are there that are good with scripts or have found things to work can post these and earn rewards and so forth on that. So really quite excited on that. That's going to kickstart next week. So, and yeah, we've also got.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say I just posted that, Paul, to the. I posted
You've
that
just posted that. Okay,
box.
great.
Yep.
Okay, so if I perhaps go there, if we log in, you can hopefully see this is our new fix-it script. So you can see that you would log a problem and say, yeah, I need help with this, or you can review the current list of problems and perhaps help out. So that should certainly help people and get a nice community going and helping people. And we've got Rob Vanderwood, who we've used some of the scripts and so forth previously ourselves. So I think that's coming to the end. But what I thought I'd do is try and give you an update on sort of what's coming with regards to scripting. So the release of Dashboard, which actually just happened last night, contains some improvements to the scripting. What we've noticed is some of the bigger things we've noticed is that the SXI scripts now treat unknown health states as okay. This was perhaps giving issues that due to some of the hardware problems that were being encountered, that they were just unknown, and this was flagging up as errors and creating tickets and so forth. So that's now been set in its own field as okay, so it won't be generating alerts for you and causing problems. We've also now got that within the exchange queue scripts that we can support dynamic queues, so those ones that are creating queues rather than it based on a specific name. And that was compatible with PowerShell. And I went to run through actually, that reminded me that we've got within this checks, we've got a number of ESXi scripts that the guys have developed. So this allows you to monitor your VMware server. So you can check on here the health status of not the instances, but the actual host itself, on the CPUs, fans, memories, sensors, and so forth, what the inventories and power states are. The one thing that's missing in there is the storage, which is being worked on. And if we go back to the presentation, this is what they're working on, and we've got due for release very soon on this, where you'll be able to see the instances, the physical data, and how that's performing. And also then you can set the data source and also an alert, so that if a particular VMware instance is got a set threshold, that it doesn't exceed that, such as that. So that's what's a little snippet of what's to come. One of the other things that I would say is quite useful, just while we're going on to scripting, that I didn't really put under any category, is that with our new system tray functionality, there is the ability to be able to run a local file. So this would, in effect, allow you to run a script. You would need to deploy the script out there first, but such as I've got in here, I can run that local install date. So when that menu option is, providing that script is in that location, you can get the user to run that script. So that's something else that's pertinent while we're looking at automated tasks and scripting available within the system. So Scott, have you got any questions?
Oh man, yeah, we've got quite a few here. I mean, I think definitely this is obviously something people are very interested in. We'll probably have to do like kind of an advanced version at one point. This is kind of more of a intro how-to kind of session.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to run through. I think really trying to get people aware that you can upload your own. We've got defaults in there, but certainly you can add your own, and that these can help. Making people aware that these things can be scheduled to run. They can be based on an event, so something happens, and then you can run a remediation to hopefully address that issue afterwards. And it's really making sure we can't run through, unfortunately, everybody's particular problem. I think every person has particular issues depending on their individual customers as to what sort of scripts and automation they would need.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really pretty much wide open. I mean, you saw how many languages it's supported. It's people are just trying to, I guess, wrap their heads around the idea of you can go out and write a script in whatever language you want and be able to run it.
Yeah, I mean, okay. It is just a case of that. We're trying to sort of open the door here and just say to people, look, if you've got processes in place, such as the great one that we put with the with the cleaning up of temp files. I mean, that's something that you wouldn't want to do, or quite a manual process. If you had workstations, say 50, 100, 150 workstations, you can treat them as a site, as we went through earlier. Treat all those devices as site automated tasks, add that clean temp files, and then actually change that so that it runs as based on not just a particular schedule, but when the check fails. So it's not going to run all the time, it's not going to run that, it's just going to be based on that disk space check failing, which should hopefully free up their time.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll what the time we got left here, just kind of plow through what we've got. You ready, Paul?
Yeah. Let's go through it.
Okay. And like I said, folks, if we don't get to your question, ask it anyway. I'll send these over to Paul in the UK and then Todd over here, and we'll answer your questions if we don't get to them today. Thank you very much for attending here. Okay, let's see. We'll kind of start off with what's coming in the future. Jason wants to know, do we have automated tasks for the Mac agent yet?
We don't as yet. We're still getting the monitoring, but I mean, these sorts of things will come. I think we've seen that with with the Linux as well. Hopefully we'll have good news for the webinar next month, which is going to be on Mac and Linux. So hopefully by then, Scott, we'll have an update and some news on that for then. I mean, that's on, what's that, the 14th of May?
14th, yeah. I sent that link around. I sent it around about 4 times because my thing was not working. My interface wasn't working for it. Yeah, that's on the 14th. Okay, let's see. A couple people asked, Skylar, and then someone else asked about running CC Cleaner. Scott asked about CC Cleaner. Can you run CC Cleaner within automated tasks?
Yeah, I mean, you could certainly call up, I mean, you're looking to just call up the batch file or whatever it happens to be on the scheduled task, providing that's installed. You're just really looking to put a batch file, a command, to run and initiate the process with, you know, an answer type script, so it knows what to do in the event, the if statements. But yeah, there's certainly things that can run as that we've seen.
Okay, and Louis, let's see, has kind of a testing question. He was asking, when you're testing an automated task, is there a way to force the client to synchronize and run the task without having to wait for the window or auto sync? If not from the dashboard, can you do that from the client?
There is an option. Once you've set an automated task, I mean, we do have, or it's been certainly been discussed, I know there's been an item on Todd's, the allthingsmax.com, regarding if you want to run an automated task, but just on a single occasion, you could link that to an event that's actually not existing, as it were. Because with all the automated tasks, you can actually set them and you can run it now. So if you've got it set as a schedule, such as I've got there Friday at 1 p.m., I want that to actually run now. I can just go into that device and run the auto task now.
Okay. Nicholas had seems like a pretty useful question. He was wondering, can you have a script run to have a pop-up message sent to all your customers or sites?
Really, there will be something there. Certainly, if they can do a sort of echo or a message box, then by all means, I would certainly test it probably on just a device before pushing out to a site-wide as an automated task. But I certainly can't see any reasoning. It's really just dependent on getting the script right.
Okay. So these are at the client and site level, or are we talking about per machine basis? How does
per machine? So I mean, I think initially I was suggesting there that we would want to put an automated task out to a number of workstations so that you can perhaps notify them that there's going to be a change or the building's going to close, whatever it happens to be, that you could send that out. But what you could do is take a particular, as I mentioned earlier, you could take that device off from being site managed and then add the automated task onto that particular device rather than it being, as the other is, site managed. So it gains all its automated task information, the schedules from there at the site level rather than as this device is down at this level as an individual.
Alrighty. This is more of a kind of a nomenclature. David wanted to know, what is the difference between a script check and an automated task?
The script check just runs the query, so you're probably looking for, it's more the question or the notification if. So we've got the check which runs, so that runs based on the 24/7 schedule throughout the day. And such as the script checks that we've got available, you're questioning, you know, is this query running? Is that large mailbox? So this is asking the question, is the CPU health? The automated task is actually doing the process on the thing, so, and possibly the resolution, such as the clearing of temp files, that's running the actual process to do that. So one sort of the check to see if everything's sort of running okay, and the other one's running the process. And that, I suppose, I don't know if that's made it any clearer. I suppose it's working on the two to see what best fits the scenario. It's very difficult to tell, I think, given certain scenarios. I mean, if you do have, I suppose, one thing that's available is, I mean, Todd, myself, and some of our other colleagues were available for, these sort of one-to-one, as we call tech walks sessions and so forth. If they just contact your sort of account manager, we can get that sorted out so that we can discuss these a bit more at length, or if you need to sort of review this again. Say it is a field that opens up greatly. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the bottom line here. I know. Thank you very much again, everyone, for your questions, and we did have some really specific ones. And then again, if you have questions like that, it's probably best to contact your sales rep, and they'll set up a tech walkthrough with you, or set up a one-on-one with a sales engineer to kind of answer some of those questions. People can email you, can't they, Paul? Yeah.
I mean, email through. I mean, I'll get all the questions that we've got through in the chat and work through as best I can. To say I'm not a scripting guru, as they would say, but I do have the power of Google, so I can look at some things and
we all have that power.
That. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really just working on that. I think it's just getting people to know sort of what's the things like that testing, so that you get the alert out it's for. Another thing to mention is, if you're looking to get information on automated tasks to display, is just getting it needs to be a standard out, because that may be some of the other questions that are coming through regarding how do I get it to notify. But I've got there, for instance, I wanted to know an automated task to run when the install date of the operating system was, and how you actually get that output. You need a standard out, so within that I've actually just got the W script doing the echo on that Visual Basic script. So that's the type of thing, and then that will output it, and it's limited to 255 characters. But all the further information on that is within the help contents.
Okay.
So that they
yeah, show them the help there.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, while we're waiting on this to go through.
Okay. Well, the Nessie was over there again. John had a question here. Seems pretty relevant to everyone. When he sets a time for a script to run, is it run at does it run at our local time, which I think he means the client, or at the time zone of the host server of GFI?
It will run based on the time on the agent.
Okay, which is on the computer.
So that would be on the local. Yeah, I mean, they should be on networks. I would imagine they're picking up the date time from time servers, but yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's actually because the agent's the one that's setting the scheduled time. It's the one that's doing it based on whether you've set it for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it happens to be. So it's just clicking down on that timer, and then just running through it. So it's not really done. But it would be based on the actual machine, that's the agent itself.
Okay. Daniel had one here about scripting. Well, of course he had it about scripting, but he had a one about languages. Does PHP, Perl, or whatever script you use have to be already installed on the Windows machine to be able to execute a script written in that language?
There would need to be the facility there to be able to run that. So such as I mentioned with the PowerShell, how you had some of the snap-ins, to be able to run that, you need to have that on the host machine so that it can accept the command and run the particular task. So yes would be the answer to that. You would need to have whatever loaded on there to run it.
Okay, and we had quite a few questions asking about locations for sharing, and so I've sent around that that website. The website's up. The beta's up now.
Yeah. The fixitscripts.com.
Yeah, fixitscripts.com.
So that's where we're trying to build up and get things. There is, of course, the GFI forums where there's further information on scriptings and stuff as well. Yeah,
so the forums is I'll send that around. So that's the kind of right now we've got like a scripting library on there. There's like a forum where people can post scripts and
yeah.
Okay, whatnot.
So if you go under underneath the GFI Max, we've got the user scripting, and there's some other, as you can see on there. With people post and comment on sort of scripts and so forth there as well. And that would be specific to the Max remote management.
Stan had one more about deploying. Is there a way to create global automated task templates that can be applied to multiple sites?
There isn't at present. We are looking, or there is on the roadmap, going to be a sort of rechange in the structure of the dashboard, which will hopefully allow, such as looking at permissions and so forth. But at the moment, automated tasks can only be done at site level for workstations and individually for servers. So unfortunately, it's having to add them multiply. But that is something that we've taken on board and are, going to look to develop in the future.
Okay. John had a question about the dashboards and the dashboard displays. What do the extra output / extra columns mean, such as the display where it says awaiting synchronization? If you could flip back to that.
Yeah, just going back to those. I mean, that's just saying that because when we upload the scripts, so we upload the scripts in the manage user scripts and upload that, we then set the script check to do that or the automated task on the device. It's waiting to synchronize because it's waiting on the device to check in, download the script, and get the configuration of what you set it to do. So it's really just a timeout until it's actually received the information. The script's been downloaded and run on the agent.
Okay. Steve here had a question. Let's see. Well, first of all, he says, "Get better soon, Todd," which is very nice. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, no, that's a nice thought. We'll pass that.
All right, we will. And then he's asking, can we launch an automated task when a user-created script check fails?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's an interesting. That's where it opens up a whole new world, Scott.
Really? Okay. Black is white and white is black, huh?
We can. So because we've got a selected script there, as I mentioned, you've actually got the facility, such as a user-defined. So if you bear with me, that that's a user-defined script. Whatever it may be, I've uploaded that script. I can then set an automated task on that device. So we can add a new automated task based on the user-defined scripts. So I'll select this to run different use finalize key, and I can get that based on event, and that can be the script check and what the particular script is. So yes, so you've got the ability with your scripting knowledge to be able to create a script check and then run a bespoke script automated task based on that.
Okay.
So if you kind of know if what you're looking for to check and you know how to remedy that, you can link the two together and almost completely automate the whole process.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Excellent. Let's see. Dustin had one here, kind of tied in with somebody else's question about what seems to be the best language to use. I mean, basically, is there a language that seems to work better than others on Windows machines? For example, with a batch file.
Yeah, I mean, if you're happy batch files, if that's kind of what you're used to and you're comfortable with, yeah, I think that's fine. I just happen to have mostly Visual Basic in there just because that's something that I've kind of learned that seems to work in the scripts that I'm looking to run. They seem to be easier to get hold of and get to run. But it's really a case of what languages you're happy with, or will best suit. Some of the PowerShell is really good, but it's knowing that, making sure you get the snap-ins and the functionality available to allow those to run.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of back to what we were saying before. This is like, it's a wide open world here, and we just had, let's see, Nick sent in a link here. He said he's using CBT Nuggets to help him learn scripting, and all. I will send that around to everybody. He said it's
there
like
are
$99
some nice sites out there, but yeah, I think it's just a little time that you spend Googling and having a look at this. You could, if you think, automate a process, so it could save you, in the long run going forward, a considerable amount of time.
Right. Scott had a question about antivirus. He was asking, do we need to set the local scripts folder on the client in the exception list of the managed AV, just in case, one of these scripts triggers an alert or anything like that?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, if it does pick up, it shouldn't really pick them up, certainly with managed AV, but if you did have another product, a different AV on there, then yeah, I would set the exception. I mean, within ours, that's under the managed AV, that's within the protection policies. You choose the policy that's installed, such as we've got there, and you would choose the exceptions, so you would add that in. You certainly not come across any issues with sort of ours, but if you did have another one that we do monitor, such as those within the monitoring checks, then yeah, you would need to add that scripts folder. So that's in the advanced monitoring agent.
Okay.
So if I bring that up, let's see, advanced monitoring agent. So those scripts that I've placed for my specific computer, that's where they are there.
Okay, excellent. Lee was asking about Hyper-V scripts for monitoring. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have, as yet, anything available. To the scripts we've got available are VMware. I'm sure there'll be sort of scripts become available or are already out there for Hyper-V, which you could upload and run. But unfortunately, at the moment, we've only got the VMware ones. But it's not to say that if you could create them or have the functionality there.
Yeah. What was, Tom, just back on the script, what were the couple of those websites that you suggested for people to go look at learning how to write scripts and things like that?
Yeah. Let's go back.
And then while we're at it, I'll give you the, oh, there you go. All right.
So the help does have a lot. If you're looking to, you've got the script in mind and just wondering how to sort of make sure it works and reports into the dashboard. If you're looking to sort of try and get information, I'm not really sure what I'm looking for, or is there anything available, and then use sort of the forums and community and stuff. So I mean, probably like Rob's page there, he's got a lot of scripts that you could perhaps take, and then once you've kind of seen the ones there, you perhaps look at the help to tweak it, make sure you're getting what you want, and that it reports in the help desk and the dashboard. Okay.
Yeah.
But the forums are useful to try and get a bit of interaction with other users that have perhaps tried it, or you're all looking for the same sort of end goal.
Yeah, I mean, Stack Overflow is like a nice, kind of help me figure this out kind of place for scripts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's it's set off, but yeah, that's really looking to go, and I think from the idea that'll really take off and be good to as a nice sort of community sharing things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully. So everybody, if you'll sign, and that's in beta right now. The fix-it scripts.
Yeah. I'd say that's just a preview that is available from the 8th for live. But yep.
All right, we got time for just a few more here. Thank you again very much, everybody, for showing up, for asking your questions. As I said, if we didn't get to them, somebody will get to them, and we'll answer your questions and address your concerns. And thank you very much. Robert had one here. Does the system need to be powered on for the task to run, or will the computer be woken up to run a scheduled task? I guess that's if it's obviously the computer's off.
Yeah, the agent will, the device will need to be on because the agent that runs as a service will need to be running.
Okay.
So that would need to run the task. I suppose where people start to get clever is they can perhaps have on a server to run all the workstations, to run a wake on LAN script, to wake all the workstations, and then get the workstations to carry out the task. I mean, it's really starting to think about, where you can take this. But yeah, there's some wake on LAN scripts that people have put together that I've seen that they run on the server to wake all the workstations up, for example, and then do the task they would like.
Okay. Jonathan had a configuration question. He was wondering about what are the recommended credentials. Excuse me. What are the recommended credentials for ensuring scripts have sufficient rights?
I suppose it would probably be, if you're looking at Windows and stuff, you'd be looking at such as the administrator and so forth, to be able to, get to Exchange, because the domain admin, he's got access, godlike rights across it. So that's who you would need to run it as. But what I was suggesting in the slide earlier is that because the agent would be running in the local user, this might not be high enough to be able to do the specific task and check in Exchange because it doesn't have that level. So it would just be finding out what that is.
Okay, excellent.
Once you go up to administrator root type level, you may need, and that's it. So.
Right. Well, going back to that CC cleaner question, we had a couple. We had Gregory and Chris both chime in that said they're running. Greg said he's running CC cleaner over 116 state workstations with a script or task, and so is Chris. So they're both pretty happy with running that. That's running fine for them.
Well, I mean, there we go, Scott. So hopefully they'll be able to share through this community and stuff.
Right.
Really try and get. I think we've kind of been looking for, libraries and stuff, as people say. There are stuff on the forums and so forth available, but I think getting a community where you can kind of speak to the person that's created the scripts and stuff as well is probably going to be more beneficial, so that you can ask them, does this run, or as our colleagues here have said, that we've got it, it's in place, it's running.
Okay, just do it. Okay, I want to thank everyone there. Looks like we're about out of time. One thing I want to say, we do have a LinkedIn group where you can also ask us questions, just like you were asking today in the session here, and I'm going to post that link right now for our LinkedIn group. Paul, can you tell people how they can get in contact with you if they need to?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you can certainly get in contact with your account manager. Probably first point of call. There's certainly myself. I mean, my email address is paul.fenwick, FENWICK, @gfi.com. I'd be happy to help out, and I'll forward on to through the necessary channels anything that can do. Through the chat interface that we've received, I'll certainly be going and taking that on and putting you in touch with people and replying back to what I can. I think that's probably that. Go through our GFI Max or log into the dashboard if you're having problems with a specific script, for example, that you've had a look at. Is highlight your script check that you've been working on and go to the help, request help, and this will pre-populate a form for the technical support guys on what you're looking at. So that will certainly help as well.
Okay, excellent. Well, I want to thank everyone again for coming out. Thank you very much for your questions. Watch your inbox and the link to GoToMeeting. The automatic link goes out in a week, but we usually have it up and done before then. It's just you'll get the big mass email in a week or so. So we definitely post if we get the webinar done finished before then we'll definitely post a link and let people know where you can watch and download and do all that good stuff. All right, Paul, thank you very much for coming today.
Okay,
Thank
thanks
you,
very
everyone.
much. Sorry for disappearing off halfway, but we got there.
Yeah, it was messy.
And I look forward
thanks.
to seeing everyone at the 14th of May on the next one.
Right, 14th of May. Sign up for our Fix-It Script site. Check out mspbusinessmanagement.com, sales and marketing advice for MSPs. And also our customer conferences are coming up soon. Conferences.gfimax.com is where you can read and sign up and register. All right, everyone, thanks.